Being an MP certainly has a strange way of expanding to fill up a lot of your available time. Usually when we do our MP commitments, it will be nights and weekends. So, meet the people, house visits, estate walks. That's something that my family complains about. I'm sure that's not unique to me. All spouses of members of parliament will probably have the same kind of complaints. Hi, my name is Jamus. I invite you to penetrate my outer shell and plumb the cockles of my heart and ask me anything. So my name is Jamus and I am 47 this year. I am also an associate professor of economics at Business School. It's a French business school. There's a campus here in Singapore. And at the same time, I wear another hat as a member of parliament representing Sengkang. Like many Singaporean families, we looked forward to spending time with each other, and at the time in Singapore, much of that entailed, of course, going out for meals and the like. So one of the things that I really look forward to was when Mom would get her payday, which meant that we would end up going to eat chicken rice at Chatterbox. So at that time, Chatterbox would have been an aspirational restaurant for us, and so once a month, that was apparently what I really loved to eat as a child. I guess looking at my daughter loving chicken rice is a pretty standard Singaporean experience, and so we would end up at Chatterbox once a month, and apparently I really look forward to that. There was always an element about economics that kind of sparked an excitement in the way I approached it. And then of course, then you go through the textbooks and the courses and the lectures, and some of it can be very dry. But if you always remember that original spark, the original thing that captured you to begin with, that is what will keep you going in moments where some of that fun, some of the initial excitement would have gone away, but nevertheless, it's enough to keep you going in the long run. After I went to university and I subsequently graduated, it wasn't something that I actively pursued per se. By then I had transitioned into wanting a career as an economist. First as an academic economist, which I subsequently returned to, but then also as an economist in financial markets, as well as an economist working on international development. So I think all those experiences really shaped my ability to look through the lens of economics for thinking about public policy issues. And I guess I'm fortunate in that very naturally translates into offering a potentially valuable perspective in thinking about policy issues that can apply for the purpose of politics. So when I first started volunteering for the Workers' Party, it was relatively later in my professional career, but I felt that I really had quite a bit of tools that would be important for me to bring to the table when I think about issues in the political sphere. I think most first-term parliamentarians will tell you that when you first go into parliament, procedure is very intimidating because debates are very structured. You can't just speak out of turn. You have to be called upon, you have to be recognized. Is the term by the speaker. And also sometimes, unfortunately, this is what politics is about. Politics gets in the way, so you don't necessarily give the person on the other side of the aisle the full benefit of the doubt. I try to do my best to put myself in the shoes of how that person was thinking when they made a particular decision, a particular call, and I'm not saying that I can necessarily do much better, but I often like to probe the decision-making process, and I like to ask, well, is there an alternative way we can approach this? And to at least put it on the table, even if it doesn't ultimately get employed, it nevertheless is on the table for consideration. And I think that's how I've always approached ideas. So in some ways, that's how I approach my parliamentary interventions as well. But certainly I've gotten a lot smoother in knowing protocol and parliamentary procedure when I'm trying to convey these ideas. So let me share a story. There were two neighbors, one upstairs and one downstairs. And the downstairs neighbor was a soft-spoken lady. She was very sensitive to noise. She's also proactively taken steps to try to shield herself from this noise. She's literally even moved to the bomb shelter in her home just to try to insulate herself from noises emanating from her upstairs. So you think, well, okay, I'm going to approach the neighbor, the upstairs neighbor, and just convey the situation. But then what you find is the upstairs neighbor is an entirely reasonable couple. They're not outrageous. They've carpeted much of their floor. They've put rubber pads on their furniture. And they share that they have become afraid themselves of turning on their taps. And to add to that, they have a special needs child. I guess as a special needs child, you cannot expect that they're going to be absolutely silent. So you see, in this case, both sides have a completely legitimate explanation and justification for the way that they're acting. And both sides are also trying their level best to make the situation work. But it's something that ultimately is intractable. So we refer these to a community mediation center, and of course that can escalate to the Community Dispute Resolution Tribunal. But ultimately, I suspect that the mediator or the judge will face the same kind of challenges trying to adjudicate, because as you can see, there's no clear solution to this kind of situation. One impression my dad really left on me was the importance of respect for everyone. That has always stuck with me because he didn't just say that you have to treat people with respect. He emphasized it and he lived it. I always try to do the same for people that I meet today, regardless of their station in life. I always think that I have something to learn from them, and I'm always interested in wanting to know what their life experience might be. And so that kind of curiosity mixed with respect, I think, is something that really stayed with me. Certainly at some level, find something that you are passionate about that intersects in part with public policy. And again, I think that net can be cast much wider than sometimes we think. For me, it was economics. And then make a decision that you want to see a future that you are able to impact. And if you have that self-assurance that you are going to have an opportunity to make a difference to the future that unfolds, then that is ultimately the first step, hopefully the first of many steps that you can bring, so that we will have the next generation of people that will want to bring our country to that next level.